So should you wholesale the house or should you keep it as a rental and use the BRRRR strategy? This is a question that people ask all the time, and there's two different sides to this question. One, you make amazing money today. You flip or wholesale and you make great money today, but zero money in the future. The other is you don't really make any money today, but you make a ton of money in the future. You make $200, $300, $400 a month today, but hundreds of thousands of dollars into the future. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down my thoughts on flipping, wholesaling, and the BRRRR method, and which one you could possibly be using for whatever strategy it is that you have. If you're new to my channel, my name is Austin Rutherford, born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, live in South Florida now, flipped and wholesaled hundreds of houses, own an almost $15 million real estate portfolio. And if you're looking to learn more about real estate, make sure you go to theaustinrutherford.com. So when you're a real estate investor, you have tons of ways to make money. There's a saying out there, like there's a million ways to make $1 million in real estate. There's just so much opportunity out there, right? But two of the bigger ways of getting started in real estate and or growing what you're already doing is either wholesaling and or flipping. That's kind of one and the same for me in this video. Or number two, the BRRRR method: buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat, and keep it as a long-term rental property. Both have big positives and big negatives, right? So wholesaling and flipping, let's break this down real quick. This is a way to make cash today or in the very, very near future, which is great because a lot of people need cash today to live on, especially if real estate is your income. You need cash today to live on, right? The downside to this is that as soon as you make the cash today, you have to go out and find the next deal and 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 the next deal. And you end up being on this hamster wheel of always chasing money and always chasing your next deal. So it has no long-term revenue value. You can make $0 in income in the future off of that one deal. On the flip side to that, the BRRRR method, buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat, is a rental property and you make money for the rest of your life. It's not a lot of money today, but it's money into the future of way more than you could ever make today flipping a house. Let's say you can flip a house today for $30,000 and make profit $30,000. That same house is a rental property. Over the next 10, 20, 30 years, you'll make hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit on the same house. It just takes more time for that to happen. So one is giving up immediate gratification of money today to make long-term gratification of more money into the future. And the problem is that like most people want wealth. They want to be rich forever. But if all you do is the BRRRR method, buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat, and you have zero other streams of income, it'll be very, very, very difficult to survive and make money at the beginning because again, you don't make that much money. Each unit, each house that you do the BRRRR method on, you might make $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, maybe $500 a month on. Again, living on $300 a month is impossible, right? So until you start stacking up a lot of these, it's almost impossible to live on just the BRRRR method today. So I'm gonna go through a couple different situations that you may be in. If you started out like me, broke, didn't have any money, I could not start with the BRRRR method from the beginning. It's impossible because sometimes there's issues on getting financing in the first place, long-term financing from banks. You can always raise private money, but with the BRRRR method, when you refinance, you have to have a long-term debt partner in place. And the other problem for me is I still needed money today to live on. Like I wasn't rich, I didn't have a bunch of other money coming in. Real estate was my income. So I needed to make money today to build up my tax returns to be able to qualify for more rental properties into the future. So what did I do? What was my strategy at the beginning? Being broke. I flipped and wholesaled as many houses as possible, making as much money today as humanly possible. I took that money, I paid off any debts that I had. So I paid off all my debts, which then increased my bankability because my credit score went up and my income went up, which means I could qualify for more loans when it came time to do the BRRRR method and start owning rental properties. So my solution, make as much money today as possible, learn a skill, wholesaling and flipping, to make money today, to then become more bankable into the future. The other side of this is, what if you're already bankable today? Or when you become bankable, after you make the money, pay off the debts, increase, and then become bankable. So either way, once you are bankable, that's when the tough decision comes into play. Because most people in today's world want immediate gratification. They want satisfied right now. And the only way to do that is wholesaling and flipping houses. It's absolutely nothing for their future though. So it's very difficult to give up $30,000 today in the next 1 to 60 to 90 days. If you were to wholesale or flip that house, you can make 30 grand in 30, 60, 90 days. That's unheard of for most people. So it's very tough to give that up to want to make $300 or $400 a month in profit. Most people want money today because they want to live happily today, and I do too. So what do we do? I wish I'd have done this many, many years ago. I wish somebody would have told this. I wish somebody would have told me this a long time ago, because I feel like personally I've been in a financial position than what I am right now. I got caught chasing money for years and years and years and years. And it was great because I was making a lot of money, but I was on that hamster wheel. I was chasing money. And then I realized the power of building for the future and not just for today, right now. So what I wish I would have done when I was actively flipping and wholesaling houses, right? I wish I would have came up with a net figure to then start keeping rentals. So what does that even mean, Austin? So what this means is like you look at your overhead. So how much money are you spending every single month on marketing, on sales teams, on rent, on utilities, whatever it costs to operate your business every single month, which by the way, includes paying you a salary that you can live on. Most people kind of ignore the me part, but like you need to pay yourself to be able to live, right? You're operating the business, you deserve a paycheck. So what is your monthly expenses every month, including paying yourself, to be able to continue to operate the business? What's the break-even point, right? Let's say it's $20,000 a month, marketing, salaries, payroll, etc. $20,000 a month. Then come up with an additional profitability on top of that, 10, 20, 30, 40% on top of that. So let's say you decide that you want to make an additional 40% in profit on top of your $20,000 that you need to operate every single day. So $28,000 is that number. So when you start getting more and more deals in the pipeline, instead of flipping and wholesaling everything and making $60, $70, $80, $90,000 in a month, but having zero for the future, come up with that number of, let's say, $28,000. And the first deals that come into your pipeline every month, you need to make $28,000. So you need to flip and wholesale enough to make $28,000. And then once you make that $28,000, you can then start keeping rentals for anything past that. So instead of making $80,000, make 28 and then keep 2 or 3 rental properties that month. Because as you start scaling this out over a year, if you keep an extra 3 rental properties a month over a year, that's 36 extra rental properties. 36 times, let's say $300 a month in profit, that's $10,800 per month at the end of 1 year that you're making. Now that starts to become life-changing. Then you do it year 2, that's 72 rentals. That's $20,000 a month. And you can see how this can start to compile over time. And I get it. I know that you're going to be passing up money today. I understand that 100%, but you're giving up a present value for a future greater value into the future of your life. You'll be a lot more wealthy and a lot more successful. Just to put things into perspective for you, I bought a rental property about 4 years ago for $165,000. And over the following 3.5 to 4 years, I made about $1,000 a month in profit on cash flow. I saved money on taxes and the property appreciated, and I sold it for $365,000, meaning I made 200 grand in 3.5 years. You could never do that on a flip. If I were to flip that house 3.5 years ago, I'd have made like $30,000, $40,000. Now I'm able to make $1,000 a month for 3 years. That's 36 grand. That's how much I would have made on the flip in the first place, and capture the $200,000 of forced depreciation and make 200 grand on one house. Another one, I was all in for $375,000. 4 years later, I sold that thing for $765,000, almost a $400,000 increase in 4 years. By the way, I made thousands of dollars a month in profit by using that as a rental as well. So I've made well over $400,000 in profit on one rental property that I could have flipped and sold and made 75 grand in profit, but instead I made over $400,000. If you're able to hold on to properties, if you're able to hold on to them for the long run, I promise you, you will make significantly more money in the future than you could ever make flipping or wholesaling a house right now, right here, today. And again, I get it. Like, you're giving up a $50,000 assignment fee to make $400 a month in profit. I get it. It's a very difficult decision to make. But the cool thing is that if you use this strategy the right way, the BRRRR method, there's a way to get a portion of that $50,000 out of the deal and continue to make the cash flow. It's the BRRRR method, right? When you refinance it with a bank and you owe less than what the bank gives you, you're able to make that additional money tax-free, by the way, and you're able to continue to own the property and make the cash flow. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the BRRRR method in its entirety, make sure you check out this video up here. We'll break it down step by step exactly what that process looks like, because you will thank yourself in the future when you look back 5 years from today and you realize that you kept 10, 50, 100 rental properties instead of flipping and wholesaling every house along the way. So make this commitment to yourself. Figure out what that monthly income is for you. Figure it out right now. Whatever it is that you want it to be, 5 grand, 10 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand a month, whatever it is, whatever is needed for you to operate a business and make a little bit of profit, stick to that number. And then anything above that number, keep it as a rental property. The problem is when you start negotiating in your head, well, this month I'm just gonna flip a couple more. Well, that month, I might, I don't need all that money. But if you decide it right now, and no matter what happens, you make that amount of money and then keep the rental properties on anything above that, you don't have to negotiate in the future. And you will end up with more rental properties and you will end up making more money in the long run. So comment below, let me know what your thoughts are on this video and the strategy. Again, I wish I would have known this years ago. I would be in a much better position, in my opinion, than where I am today. So comment below, let me know. While you're down there, make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Be greatly, greatly appreciated. And hit that subscribe and notification bell so you can get all this content going forward. As always, appreciate you being here. See you on the next one.